Welcome back to Let's Talk It Out with Miss Olmos. I always get so excited for the opportunity to record a new episode. A couple of weeks ago, I was in a class and the speaker was reading about how to create unity amongst communities. One of the reminders that stuck out to me was getting to know those around us. I just love to hear that reminder. A lot of the times, a problem really isn't a problem. It's just a simple misunderstanding. I hope that with each episode, we get to know more about those in our community. The second thing that stuck out to me was unity is created with serving together. I thought those were two great things to share. I always get so excited to introduce our next guest. This next guest has been in our district for such a long time. She started as a special education paraprofessional. She then transitioned to run our elementary computer lab, but then moved to the high school as a campus secretary and also helped in the library. Her current position is in technology. She does a great job taking care of us all. And I'm just so excited for you to get to know her a little more. Claudia Soto is a person who puts others' priorities before her well-being, and most people wouldn't know that. You might also have been wondering who is behind the camera in each episode. That would be Miss Claudia. Help me give Miss Claudia Soto a warm welcome. Hi, Miss Claudia.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
How does it feel to be on this side of the camera?
Definitely out of my comfort zone. I like it behind the camera better.
You'll do wonderful. It's just us having a conversation.
If you say so.
It'll be great. It'll be great. Well, Claude, you and I go way back. We met when we were super young. We've had a friendship for a very long time. I'll be honest though, I don't remember a lot of it. So I do remember that you were the friend that I would tell my parents, why can't I go? Claudia's going. So I remember I have funny memories of things that we did in our house and things like that. But how do you remember our story? Where did we meet? Like, how did we even get to know each other?
I believe, my brother used to buy the county barn, and my brother practiced out there. So I would go out there just in my green bike. I remember this. And all of a sudden I see kids, and I'm the type where I'm like, oh, I'm going to go check it out, see what they're doing. So that's kind of how we met. And then I feel like from there I would ask my mom, hey, can I go to my brother's baseball practice? And then I would just kind of go over to your house. And I didn't have a backyard growing up. It was like a tiny apartment. So you guys had a backyard, and you guys had swing sets and a trampoline. So I'm like, I'm going with that and it was so close to my house, I would just make it like a play date. And I remember I loved going over your house because of the trampoline. That was so fun. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Again, I don't remember. The funny story that I remember is when you were on our bunk bed.
Oh.
And our fan was going off, and all of a sudden you're like going. It wasn't funny in the moment, but now.
Yeah.
Like all of our cousins that were there.
Yeah. Your whole family still remembers that story till the day. So.
Yeah. I remember that. Well, let's take it back to the beginning of Claudia, because even though I know you, I just feel like this is a part of your life that I don't really know. If I'm honest, you were born in Guanajuato?
Yes.
You were born in Guanajuato?
Yes.
Tell me about that stage of your life. Like, what do you remember about Mexico, and how old were you when you moved here, and why did you move here? Like, I don't know that I really know all those components of your life.
Okay. Well, I was born in Guanajuato. I was there until I was 7 or 8 years old. And then at the age of 7, my dad passed away. So, after that, my grandpa and my grandma and my aunts had moved to the United States like 2 years before us. So when my dad passed away, my grandpa really needed to help my mom and be there for my mom. So that's when he decided that we as a family needed to move here with my grandparents so they could help and be there for my mom. So so we moved here in, I believe, 1999. So so that's how we ended up here in Spearman, Texas, and we have been here ever since.
You 7, you were a pretty good age. Do you have memories of Mexico? like specific memories?
I do, but not really. I think the only thing now I really don't. I mean, it's no. And I feel like that was kind of tragic, just moving. Because, I mean, the cost of moving, you just forget that. I think. I don't remember much.
I don't remember much. Well, I don't blame you. I don't remember much about my childhood either. Like when I watch these shows with Miguel, and on the shows they have such specific memories of it. I'm like, do people really remember that way? Because I don't know what I would do without Time Hop. Because sometimes on my Time Hop I'm like, oh yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Or we did that, you know.
Yeah.
Do you remember arriving to the United States and it being different here?
Oh yes, definitely.
Like, do you remember some of those things that were like just different, harder to adapt to? Like, what are some of the things that you like might have been like a culture shock?
Definitely, it was like in the movies. Like, I feel like Mexico is beautiful, but it's so much different than here. Than it's like I don't know, the United States living, it looks like a movie, like you're living in a movie. And like, we don't have a pool anywhere around us because we lived in the bigger city. Like, you have to drive, 30, 45 minutes to get to a pool. And here, I mean, the swimming pool is 3 blocks or 5 minutes from anywhere. So, yeah.
Obviously you didn't know English.
Right. No.
So what grade did you start school here?
First grade.
Mm-hmm. Who was your first grade teacher?
So, when we moved here, we lived out in the feedlot, and then my grandpa got laid off that summer, and then we moved to Perryton. We moved to a farm, 21 miles out of Perryton, 28 miles out of Spearman. So, I went to Perryton for first, second, third, fourth, until 5th grade, and then we moved back to Spearman, and then so I went to Perryton for a little while.
Oh.
And I
knew that, but now that you're just talking about that, I'm like, I remember that.
Yes.
You didn't start school here.
Mm-hmm.
So then you started junior high here.
Yes, I started junior high here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. We don't talk about your dad much.
No.
Your dad died unexpectedly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You said you were 7.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you have memories? Like, do you remember things with your dad?
Very few. I think I only have one good memory that I remember. He was working in the house, and he worked in construction. So our house was like the project. Like, he would try it out at our house and then go from there. So I remember helping him put what do you call I can't think of the name, but just the texture. He was texturing our walls. And I think that was the only memory I have. And I do have another memory that he was fixing the car, and then I got in the car, and then he kind of did a U-turn, and I accidentally left the door open. So I flew out of the car. Yes. And he was so upset. He was so mad. He got onto me so bad. But he was just frustrated and nervous as a parent. Now I understand that, but as a 7-year-old, it's hard because he was really upset. He got onto me so bad. It was awful. So that.
And he died. I remember you telling me the story because I didn't know the story very well, and I kind of remember vaguely, but he was taking a friend home, right?
Yeah. So yes, it was New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. I'm sorry. And then we got home from after the fun activities of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and we got home, we went to bed, and then one of his friends needed a ride. And my dad was like, sure, I can take you, it's no big deal, it's 8 minutes from here. And he gave that friend a ride, and then on his way over there was kind of like a big feast where it was like a block party. So they weren't not letting him get through, so he got off, and it just got into a big old, argument, and then they got into a physical fight, and then, someone hurt him bad enough, the back of his head, that unfortunately he passed away on New Year's Day. So, yeah. It's very tragic.
Very tragic. And it was one of those things that when I think about your story, is a true, you don't ever know when it's going to be the last time.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Like when he walked out,
Mhm.
or Dad, you'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm just giving that person a ride home. And he
just
never came home.
back. Yes.
You know, like, I think about that, like when we're leaving the house and we're just so sure that they're going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And they might not, so I could see how that's such a tragic part of your life.
It is. For the longest time, anytime my mom would leave to go to work, I would always fear, like, oh, what if she doesn't come back? And then now as an adult, I always have that in the back of my head, like, we are not here forever. Like, you can be gone tomorrow. So anyways, it's a good and a bad fear, I guess, to have. Kind of do want to live your life to the fullest. And
not
just,
live in that fear, but also know, like, have present that
we are not eternal.
Yes, absolutely. So, hard question.
Yes.
If you ever, when you think about if you saw your dad today, do you ever think about what would you tell him?
I think I would tell him that I love him so much, even though we did not get to have the opportunity to really meet each other, because I didn't get to know him. I wish I knew more about him, and I guess you could find out through your family, but it's not the same. And I would tell him that I loved him, and he truly is my hero in so many ways, even though we didn't get the chance to be together for so long. So, yeah.
I think he would be so proud of you because I feel like you just have this perseverance that we'll get into here in just a second, but I think that he looks down and he's just like, that's my Claudia. Like, keep going, baby. Like, I'm here. And I just feel like he's just like your biggest cheerleader.
I hope so.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just picture it that way. I don't know that I've ever even really seen a picture of him, but anytime that you and I are having this conversation, I'm like, I know that her dad is just like cheering her on.
For sure, my biggest guardian angel.
I truly believe that. My intention really is not to make you cry. Really, it's not. But I genuinely believe that you have a testimony to share. You have been through so much in what I feel like is your short life because you're so young. But when you put in perspective all of the trials that you've been through, we just talked about losing your dad, which was very unexpected and tragic when you were a very young age. That led to now it's your brother and your mom. Y'all are having to uproot for what you call home into a new country, which you have a good support system here. But you transition into a new country. You then it's a complete new life to where your mom is having to work a full-time job. You and your brother are really taking care of yourself a lot. And you become a teen mom. You are now, which comes with its own challenges in itself. And then you are now co-parenting, which is, a lot of people can relate to how hard co-parenting can be. But you still smile all the time. I feel like you are just always looking for the joy in life. How do you do it? How do you encourage others who face one trial after the other?
Definitely, I leave it to God. Like, I hold his hand and he walks me to places I don't want to be, situations I don't want to be, but I always just rely on him. Which, don't get me wrong, it took me a while to get there, right? To grow my faith and to really trust him. Definitely trust him. And yeah, just keep grinding, and God is your biggest supporter in everything you do. Little things, small things, bad things, good things. We know he's always there for us. So
I love that sometimes when you're going through a hard time, you're able to see the small answers that God lets you see, like, I don't know, maybe it's like, if it's a week that you don't have the kids and you're like, I just really wish like I would, get to call them, and then you'll text me, oh, guess what? I got to talk to the kids today. It's like the little glimpses that God says, or God is reminding you, like, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not easy, but I'm still here through this journey, you know? Like, you've talked to me about, like, even growing up. And while your mom worked a lot, and it was hard not to really, to understand how much you had to work and to provide, you had your grandma who loved you unconditionally,
Mm-hmm.
which, that's another trial. She was a second mom, and you lost her during COVID.
Yes.
You know, I remember how hard that was for all of your family, and continues to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she just left she was just such a big part of your life. And so in the hardship, how God just continues to provide and answer a lot of your prayers, even if it's not easy,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
But I admire that you continue to find the joy in the things.
Well, thank you.
You have kids at many different stages. Your parenthood really stretches in all of these seasons. You are entering the stage of having a senior,
Yes.
and then you have another high school student, a child who's in mid-elementary and very little elementary. You have great kids. I love them all. What are your hopes for them whenever you think about your children?
I hope my children learn at an early stage of their life to always trust God and to always know God is always going to be there for them. Even when life doesn't go the way we pictured it, or even though our life doesn't go the way we want it to be, just to always rely on God and know He's always going to be there. So
I love that.
yeah.
And that's a hard lesson. You know, it's a hard, even as adults, that, you know, just trusting that God is good.
God is
Even
always
when-
good
Even when
at all times. Yeah.
even when it's hard to see the good, you know. So
Mhm.
I love that you have that hope for them. I really do. Okay, I feel like I've kind of bombarded you with emotional hard questions, so let's kind of move into something a little lighter. These are just completely random questions to get a little bit to know more about Miss Claudia Soto. What is the funniest thing that happened to you during a work day? Do you have a funny memory at work?
I can't think of a funny one. Oh my goodness, no.
I'm trying to think of one if we've had one together, but
I mean, I'm pretty. Oh, I remember.
okay.
Yes. So last year, I was bringing in salads for lunch. And I'm not sure what happened out in the parking lot, but I busted. Just flat out busted. I almost lost the salads, but thank goodness that the salads were safe. But it was hilarious because, I mean, I'm pretty clumsy. And just out of nowhere, I fell. There was nothing, you know. I blame it on the shoes, but I think it was me. I don't know. But what was funny is a parent was driving by and they panicked. And I just I'm pretty used to falling and doing, you know, all kinds of things. But that was pretty embarrassing. And I wasn't going to show anyone. But then you tell people and then they start searching up the recordings. And then it became like everyone watched that video.
I need to go back and watch it. I remember watching it. It's like, my knees are scraped, my elbows are scraped, but the salads are good.
Yes.
We still have lunch is what's important.
Yes.
I remember that day.
Yes, that one was a funny
moment.
moment.
Do you have a hidden talent?
I don't know that it's hidden, but I love to sing. People say, wow, you can sing, but I'm like, no, it's just, you know, it's the moment. But yeah, I truly love to sing. And I'm pretty shy at some, you know, sometimes I'm like, I don't know how people can get me to sing to them when I say I'm pretty shy, but sometimes I do sing for people.
You sing pretty good. I've heard you sing. You sing pretty good. What was your first job?
My first job, I worked at Dairy Queen. I was 14 years old when I got my first job at Dairy Queen. And there was only certain things I could do. Like I could only serve drinks and really serve people their food. Because as a 14-year-old, there was some regulations you couldn't do. So yeah, Dairy Queen was my first job.
Cool.
Official job, I should say, because I babysat for random, not random, but at random times for my family and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
yeah.
Do you have any fears?
Do I have fears?
Or phobias or anything?
Darkness. I don't like the darkness. Or scary movies. I do not like scary movies. I've never liked them. And if you say, let's go to the movies, watch a scary movie, I'm like, nope, I'm out. Or don't talk about scary, like, what is it, paranormal?
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. No. I'm big time. Big time scared of that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we have that in common. I was actually talking to a teacher outside the other day, and there was a bee. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a bee. And I start, like, moving away. And she's like, really? You're just going to leave me stranded with a bee? And you're not even going to try to save me? But I'm like, I have bee phobia.
Oh.
Like, I'll probably take a bullet for you.
But
When there's a bee, I'm out. Like, Like, I start screaming like crazy. What is the best advice you have ever received?
The best advice is to always really be yourself, no matter what. Like, don't ever try to fit in and lose yourself. Like, is it essence? Is that a word? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, don't lose that over anything. Like, stay true to yourself.
That's good. And it's so hard, right?
Mhm.
Because at some point in our life, whether it's junior high school, even sometimes in adulthood, if you're feeling lonely, you're like, oh,
I want to fit in.
Yes, or I should do that, or I should do this. And no, like, if people are going to love you, they should love you for who you are.
Yeah.
I love that. If you could plan your perfect day, and I know that as a mom, we're always thinking about children, which it's perfectly fine if you do, but I'm talking about if you were selfish and you could plan your perfect day, what would it be?
A perfect day would be, probably plan a pedicure and a massage and I've learned how to be by myself, so I can go to movies and watch a movie on my own. I've learned how to eat supper at a restaurant with my own without, feeling awkward. So that would be a perfect day, like eating out and doing things for me. So,
yeah. That would be great because that doesn't come around very often,
No.
especially in your season. Well, we'll move on to our closing questions. What is something most people would not know about you?
I'm a pretty good cook. I love to cook.
You are a pretty good cook. We talk about how our cooking love languages are different. Like, I clean as I go and you cook up a storm.
Yes.
It looks wild. It tastes delicious.
delicious.
And then you clean up everything after. But yeah, I agree with that. You are a good cook. And you can cook something up so fast. I always admire that you could, like, I'm going to run home and, like, how did you do that so fast? And lastly, how do you want to be remembered?
Let me think on that one. I want to be remembered of someone who loved serving others. I'd love to help when there's a need. And yeah, that's how I want to be remembered. That I was always there when someone needed me the most. So
I think you do a great job.
thank you.
You really do. Right, let's go into what I call the rapid fire, just questions where I feel like you shouldn't have to think too much, but it's okay if you do. 3 things that you keep on your nightstand.
Water. A lamp, because I don't like darkness. And I'm not a reader, but sometimes I like to keep a good book. Just if I ever decide to read, it's there when I need it.
Just in case.
So, just in case. Yep.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, what used to? Well, I mean, I don't. It could be any song.
It could really
be any song.
Okay. Would you rather explore the ocean or the moon?
Definitely the ocean. The ocean's beautiful.
The ocean's beautiful, but can be scary.
Mm.
In my, sharks. That's another
Yeah.
thing. Last Netflix show that you watched.
The last. This Is Us.
We've been talking about that show.
Yes, it's good, and
Definitely.
everyone needs to watch that show and just.
Definitely a
Yeah.
must watch.
Yep.
What is your favorite sport to watch?
Football.
But I feel like you watch football, but you love to go to a baseball game.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you like soccer, but football's
Overall,
on the top. Football's on the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love all kinds of sports, and I used to not be that way. It grew into me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Should I even ask who's your favorite football team? Because I know it's not the Cowboys.
It's not the Cowboys. Oh no. Yeah, I love the Denver Broncos. Yep.
I have to ask this because it cracks me up. What do you keep in your purse?
Oh. I always keep a bottle of either Valentina, hot sauce, chamoy, tajin. You'll find tajin in my purse too. Yep, I always just keep that just in case. Cause
I feel like you could make a good TikTok video of like people who empty out their purse of all the random things, but it cracked me up. I don't even know where you and I were, that you were eating something and they didn't have something spicy and you're like, oh, no worries. I'm like, you literally carry hot sauce in your purse?
Yes.
That's hilarious. What is your favorite dessert?
Oh, cheesecake.
Mm.
Cheesecake is my favorite.
Mm. My dad loves cheesecake.
And I love me some key lime pie from the pie shop here in town. To die for.
If you have not been to the pie shop,
hit her up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to Miss Gifford because
Yes.
they are amazing.
It's like heaven in your mouth.
Yes,
It's
really
delicious.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
A little bit of both. I used to not be an early morning person, but that peace in the morning, definitely. I love hanging out with my family members, and I love to be the last one to leave. So, definitely both.
I love that. Claude, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
It was so much fun talking to you.
It was definitely.
About things that we don't usually talk about. Because I know you and I talk about in a regular basis, but these are really topics that we don't really talk about. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing a part of your story that maybe others are not familiar about. I think that you could really inspire others to really find the joy even when life keeps throwing hard.
Yes.
Just one hard after the other, but keep on shining, my friend. Keep serving others the way you do. I really admire the energy that you pour into others, even when you're at rock bottom. And so, keep doing good things in this world.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for working up the courage, because it's not easy.
It is not
to be on this side of the camera, but I'm thankful for you and all of the guests who have been in the prior episodes.
And the more to come.
Yes.
I hope so.
Hopefully many more to
yes.
come. Thank you, my friend.
All right.
Thank you so much for making it to the end of another episode. I hope this week's provides an opportunity for you to clear up a misunderstanding with someone you genuinely care about. Let's not allow our assumptions to keep us distant from those that we truly love. I hope you have a great week, and don't forget that we love because He loved us first. Until next time.